The office was silent. The team watched in awkward tension. "I do not think you belong here," the manager sneered. The black woman simply smiled, because in 10 minutes, the entire office would know who she really was, and he would never forget it. The first day at Lexford Industries, a sprawling corporate office buzzing with executives, assistants, and fresh hires trying to find their footing. Alicia Carter steps inside, poised, confident, ready to excel. She's worked hard for this. Degrees, experience, talent. She belongs here. But not everyone sees it that way. Brad Williams, her new manager, leans against his desk as she walks in. His smile is tight, forced, the type that doesn't reach his eyes. The moment he sees her, something shifts. Alicia introduces herself, extending her hand. Brad glances at it, but doesn't shake it. Instead, he nods stiffly. "Right. You're the new hire." She lowers her hand slowly. Something is off. By noon, Alicia notices a pattern. He ignores her in meetings. Other new hires get guidance. He barely acknowledges her presence. He makes backhanded comments. "We have to meet those hiring quotas, right?" He smirks. Some chuckle. Others shift uncomfortably. He talks down to her. "You're new, so let's keep it simple." Alicia keeps her posture straight. She refuses to let his condescension shake her, but the team, they see it. They feel it. No one says a word. At lunch, Alicia sits with a few colleagues. They seem nice, friendly. But when she brings up Brad's behavior, silence. Someone clears their throat. "Yeah, that's just Brad." Another shrugs. "He's like that with everyone." A lie. Because Alicia has eyes. She sees how he treats others. And it's not the same. But she lets it go. For now. She's not here to make enemies. But she is not someone to mess with. By the end of the day, Brad isn't done. Alicia submits a report. He ignores it. She speaks up in a meeting. He interrupts her. When she corrects him, he smirks. "Wow, you're confident, huh?" A few chuckle nervously. She locks eyes with him. And for the first time, he realizes she isn't intimidated. As Alicia packs up for the day, an older coworker walks past, lowering their voice. "Watch your back. He doesn't like strong women, especially ones who look like you." Alicia pauses. She already knew. But now, it's confirmed. She takes a deep breath, adjusts her bag, and walks out, unshaken. Because tomorrow, the real battle begins, and Brad has no idea who he's dealing with. Brad wastes no time making his stance clear. The moment Alicia walks into the office, the power games begin. He starts with small, calculated moves. Unnecessary assignments pile onto her workload, tasks beneath her expertise, pointless reports, meaningless revisions, all labeled under the guise of proving herself. She watches as her colleagues, hired at the same level, are given actual responsibilities, projects with value, mentorship from leadership, opportunities to shine. In meetings, she speaks up, but Brad cuts her off mid-sentence. When others contribute, he nods, engages, praises their insight. But Alicia? Her ideas are dismissed, brushed aside like background noise. Then come the subtle jabs, the disguised insults. "We're looking for people who really fit into the company culture. This role requires a certain finesse. Let's see how you adjust. Are you sure this level of responsibility isn't overwhelming for you?" The words are never direct, never enough to call out, but they carry weight. The underlying message is clear. She doesn't belong. Alicia remains composed. She nods, she listens, she takes notes. But inside, she is watching. She sees how the other employees shift uncomfortably when Brad speaks to her that way. She notices the small glances, the awkward silences. They know what's happening. But no one speaks up. No one wants to be next. Then Brad makes his first real mistake. He calls Alicia into his office. The door clicks shut behind her. And this is where everything changes. Brad leans back in his chair, tapping a pen against the desk. His smile is too smug. "Alicia, I wanted to talk about your performance. Alicia meets his gaze evenly. Of course. What specifically? He exhales, shaking his head slightly. Look, I want you to succeed here. I really do. But I get the sense that maybe this just isn't the right environment for you. There it is, the warning, the final push. Alicia folds her hands on her lap, unbothered. That's interesting feedback. Can you clarify what part of my work isn't meeting expectations? Brad pauses. That isn't the reaction he expected. Well, it's not about your work, exactly. He smirks, as if she's missing the point. It's about fitting in, being part of the culture. Alicia tilts her head. And what exactly is that culture? He waves a dismissive hand. It's just knowing your place. Boom. The air stiffens. For the first time, Brad realizes he just said too much. Alicia holds his gaze, her expression calm. Too calm. Are you saying I don't know my place? Brad shifts in his chair. He tries to backpedal. No, I'm just saying that some roles take longer to adjust to. Alicia doesn't blink. And by some roles, you mean mine. The tension in the room is palpable. Brad laughs awkwardly. Alicia, I'm just giving you professional guidance. If you take it personally, well, maybe this proves my point. Alicia smiles. A slow, knowing smile. Because now she has him. She stands, smoothing out her blouse. Thank you for your feedback, Brad. Brad exhales, relieved. He thinks she's backing down. But she isn't. Because Alicia Carter isn't going anywhere. And this little game Brad started, he just lost control of it. Brad leans back in his chair, arms crossed, watching Alicia like she's already lost. This company is not really for someone like you, he says, his smirk widening as if he's daring her to react. Alicia's eyes narrow slightly, but her expression remains unreadable. Excuse me? Brad shrugs. Look, Alicia, I just don't think you're the right fit. Through the glass office walls, the team stirs. People at their desks pause. Conversations falter. Everyone hears it. Alicia leans forward slightly, tilting her head. Are you sure about that? Brad chuckles. Oh, I'm very sure. But he has no idea what's coming. Alicia doesn't flinch. Instead, she reaches into her bag and calmly pulls out a folder. Brad's smirk flickers. What's that? Alicia sets it down on his desk, sliding it toward him. Proof. His confidence wavers for the first time. Of what? Alicia folds her hands. Oh, just emails, meeting transcripts, a few interesting conversations you've had about me. Brad's smile vanishes. The employees outside the office pretend to work, but they're all listening now. Alicia taps the folder. I have emails where you've actively tried to block my promotions. Brad stiffens. She tilts her head. Recordings of you admitting to hiring bias. The office goes dead silent. Brad grips the arms of his chair. You... And, she continues, voice smooth. A very interesting recording from our meeting last week where you admitted you don't like strong women, especially ones like me. The team exchanges glances. A few jaws drop. Brad's face turns ghost white. You recorded that? He stammers. Alicia shrugs. Oh, not just me. Turns out the company's internal HR system records all manager-employee meetings. Who knew? He knows now. Brad lunges forward, yanking open the folder. He flips through the pages. His own words, his own actions. His face burns red. You think you can take this to HR? His voice is low, threatening. Alicia just smiles. Oh, I already did. The door bursts open. 2 HR representatives step inside. Behind them, the CEO of Lexford Industries. The office erupts in whispers. Brad jumps up. Wait! The CEO's expression is ice cold. Mr. Williams, sit down. Brad hesitates, then slowly sinks back into his chair. He knows it's over. The CEO doesn't even look at Alicia. He's here for one reason only. I have reviewed the complaints, the evidence, and the clear misconduct you've displayed, the CEO says. His voice carries across the entire floor. Brad clenches his jaw. The CEO crosses his arms. Brad Williams, effective immediately, you are terminated from Lexford Industries. The office loses it. Gasps, muffled cheers. People exchange wide-eyed glances. Brad shoots up. You can't fire me! I've been here for years! The CEO doesn't blink. And that's exactly the problem. Brad's face contorts with fury. He points at Alicia. This is your fault. Alicia slowly stands. She tilts her head. Oh no, Brad. This is your fault. The entire office hears it. Brad's hands shake. He opens his mouth to argue, but security steps in. Sir, one of them says, you need to leave. And just like that, Brad Williams is escorted out in front of everyone. The moment he's gone, the office erupts. Someone claps. A few cheers break out. One employee leans toward Alicia. Did you just publicly fire your own boss? Alicia grins. Nope. He fired himself. As Alicia gathers her things, the CEO approaches her. You handled that well. Alicia raises an eyebrow. I handle everything well. The CEO smirks. I'd like to discuss a promotion for you. Alicia smiles. Because she already knew that was coming. And just like that, the woman he tried to destroy just took his place. Karma served perfectly. Alicia slowly stands up. The tension in the office is thick, suffocating. Every eye is locked on her, waiting for her reaction. But she doesn't yell. She doesn't argue. She doesn't even flinch. Instead, she takes a slow step toward the door. Brad smirks, thinking he's won. Then, just as she reaches the exit, she pauses. She turns back, her expression unreadable. I was planning to wait until the board meeting, she says calmly. Brad leans back in his chair, arms crossed, looking smug. For what? Alicia reaches into her bag and pulls out her ID. She holds it up, her voice clear and unwavering. But since you fired me. The room falls dead silent. Employees lean forward. Some stand. Others freeze in place. Brad narrows his eyes. What is this supposed to be? Alicia tilts her head, watching him closely. Why don't you read it? Brad snatches the ID from her hand. He glances down. Then, his face drains of color. His jaw tightens. His fingers tremble. The ID clearly states, Alicia Carter, Executive Vice President of Lexford Industries. A sharp gasp cuts through the office. Murmurs explode. Employees exchange stunned looks. Brad's hands go numb. His mouth opens, but no sound comes out. No, he whispers, shaking his head. This is a joke. Alicia smirks. Oh, it's very real. Brad looks around the office desperately. No way. You're lying. But the CEO, still standing in the doorway, clears his throat. She's telling the truth. The energy in the office shifts. People start whispering. A few laugh in disbelief. Some employees clap their hands over their mouths. Brad looks like he's about to collapse. His confidence? Gone. His arrogance? Destroyed. Alicia steps forward, taking back her ID. I was hired weeks ago, she says smoothly. I was only working under you to evaluate leadership for the board. Brad's entire body stiffens. That means... His voice is barely above a whisper. Alicia nods. Yes, Brad. That means I've been your boss this entire time. Boom. The entire office erupts. Gasps. Shock. Some employees stifle laughter. Others grab their phones, typing frantically. Brad staggers back. His face burns red. You! His voice cracks. You tricked me. Alicia shrugs. I gave you an opportunity to do the right thing. You failed. The CEO steps forward. And now, Brad, you're done. Brad shakes his head violently. No. But security is already behind him. The game has changed. And Brad Williams just lost. Alicia steps forward, her presence filling the room with an energy no one can ignore. Brad is still frozen, his mind desperately trying to process what just happened. You just fired your new boss, Alicia says, her voice even, controlled. Brad stammers. His face goes from red to pale in seconds. Wait, what? This is a joke, right? Alicia tilts her head. No joke. She steps closer, looking him straight in the eyes. "You're the one who does not fit here." The office is dead silent. Employees hold their breath. Some exchange glances. Others just stare. This isn't just a power shift. It's a reckoning. Brad tries to backpedal. His hands shake as he runs them through his hair. I didn't know." His voice isn't confident anymore. It's shaky, desperate. Alicia doesn't blink. "That is the problem," she replies. "You never even tried to know." A murmur passes through the office. A few people nod subtly. They've seen this before. Brad dismissing people, ignoring them, treating Alicia like she was invisible. Now, he is the one being ignored. The door opens. The HR director walks in, a folder in her hand. Brad spins around. No, I can explain." The HR director doesn't react. She just glances at Alicia, then back at Brad. "We need to talk, Brad." His breathing becomes uneven. HR motions to security. 2 guards step forward. It's happening. Brad shakes his head violently. "Wait. This isn't fair. I built this team. I deserve a chance to fix this." Alicia folds her arms. "You had every chance," she says smoothly. "And you wasted all of them." Security places a firm hand on his shoulder. Brad tries to shake them off. "This is insane. You can't just—" But the HR director cuts him off. "Brad Williams, as of today, you are terminated from Lexford Industries." The office loses it. Gasps. Whispers. Some employees stifle smirks. Others watch in stunned silence. Brad stares at the HR director like she just ripped out his soul. Then he turns back to Alicia, his eyes burning. "You did this," he growls. Alicia doesn't react. She doesn't need to. Because this isn't her doing. Brad did this to himself. Security guides him toward the door. Brad's steps are heavy, sluggish, like he's trying to walk against gravity itself. No one moves to stop this. No one defends him. Alicia stands tall as he passes her. Brad pauses. He opens his mouth, maybe to argue, maybe to beg. But Alicia just gives him one final look. A look that says it all. "You lost." The doors swing shut behind him. Brad Williams? His career just ended in front of the entire office. The employees look at Alicia in shock, their eyes wide as the reality of the situation settles. Amidst the quiet murmurs and exchanged glances, Alicia finally smiles. "Now let's get to work," she declares, her voice ringing with authority and a new hope. Instantly, the company atmosphere begins to feel different. More open, more hopeful. The toxic culture Brad had fostered starts to unravel almost immediately. His actions are thoroughly investigated, spearheaded by a revitalized HR department, empowered by Alicia's leadership. Documents are reviewed, meetings are held, and testimonies are gathered. Employees who had once been silent, fearful of retaliation, now step forward, their stories painting a clear picture of the systemic issues that need addressing. Alicia implements regular workshops on diversity, inclusivity, and professional conduct. These sessions become mandatory, transforming them from mere formalities into pivotal learning experiences. The company's policy manuals are rewritten, guidelines are clarified, and a new standard of conduct is set. A stark contrast to the vague, unenforced policies of Brad's era. Under Alicia's guidance, the company introduces a new performance review system that is transparent and fair, ensuring that promotions and recognitions are based on merit alone. This system helps dismantle the old network of favoritism and opens up opportunities for everyone, not just a select few. The shift is palpable. Employees begin to engage more actively, participating in meetings with enthusiasm and contributing ideas without fear of being dismissed or ridiculed. The office becomes a place where creativity and innovation are nurtured, leading to noticeable improvements in productivity and job satisfaction. Team dynamics improve dramatically. Colleagues who had previously competed under cutthroat conditions now work together towards common goals. Team-building activities, once dreaded, are now looked forward to, fostering a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among the staff. Alicia's open-door policy leads to a surge in communication between departments. Barriers break down, and collaboration flourishes, Projects that had stalled under Brad's divisive management are now completed with efficiency and a renewed sense of purpose. As Alicia walks through the office, she sees the changes firsthand. The smiles, the lively discussions, the collaborative projects. It's a validation of her leadership and a testament to her belief that respect and integrity are the foundation of a successful company. The transformation culminates in a significant uptick in client satisfaction. Feedback becomes overwhelmingly positive, with clients appreciating the proactive approach and renewed vigor with which the company operates. New clients are drawn to the company's vibrant culture, and existing clients express renewed faith in its services. Alicia's approach not only revitalizes the company, but also redefines its identity in the industry. Lexford Industries becomes a case study in overcoming workplace toxicity and setting a new standard for corporate culture. In a company-wide meeting, Alicia reflects on the journey. "We had the chance to redefine who we are," she tells her team. "And we took it. We chose to be a company that values every employee, that thrives on diversity, and that leads with integrity." The power shift is complete. The office that once operated under the shadow of intimidation and inequality now shines as a beacon of inclusivity and respect. Alicia is not just in charge. She is a leader who has transformed a toxic environment into one where everyone can thrive. Her final smile at the meeting is one of satisfaction and determination, a promise that while much has been achieved, the journey of improvement is an ongoing one. As Alicia exits the company building, a buzz of anticipation follows her. Reporters, who had been tracking the seismic changes within Lexford Industries, cluster around, eager for a soundbite from the woman who catalyzed a corporate revolution. One reporter, microphone in hand, steps forward with a question that cuts to the heart of the day's events. "How did it feel to put him in his place?" he asks, referring to Brad, whose career Alicia had indirectly ended. Alicia pauses, her smile reflecting not just satisfaction, but a deeper sense of vindication. "I did not have to put him in his place," she replies thoughtfully. "He did that to himself." Her response is not just a dismissal of her own role in Brad's downfall, but a powerful commentary on accountability and self-destruction. The crowd of reporters murmurs, jotting down her words, understanding the weight they carry. Alicia looks around, her gaze settling on the familiar faces of her employees, watching from the office windows, their expressions mixed with admiration and relief. Alicia turns back to the cameras, her voice firm, yet infused with undeniable truth. "Never underestimate the power of justice," she states, her eyes scanning the eager reporters, "because when the tables turn—" She pauses, letting the words hang in the air, her next words delivered with a resolute clarity. "They turn hard." The statement resonates, not just among those gathered, but it ripples through social media, news outlets, and into corporate boardrooms across the city. Alicia's story becomes more than just a tale of overcoming workplace toxicity. It evolves into a narrative about the strength of standing up for what is right, the impact of ethical leadership, and the inevitable downfall of those who underestimate the resolve of the oppressed. As Alicia walks away from the throng of reporters, her silhouette against the setting sun, the scene encapsulates a moment of triumph, not just for her, but for anyone who has ever felt undermined or undervalued in the workplace. Her journey from a new employee subjected to subtle discrimination to a leader who reshaped an entire corporate culture stands as a testament to the power of patience, strategy, and moral fortitude. And as Lexford Industries continues to thrive under her leadership, transforming into a beacon of diversity and fairness, the industry watches and learns. It's a clear message that the days of unchecked power are over, and a new era of inclusive and just corporate governance has begun. Alicia's legacy, forged in the challenges she faced and the victories she secured, ensures that her story will inspire countless others to never tolerate injustice and always fight for what is rightfully theirs. In the end, the narrative Alicia crafted was not just about her triumph, but about setting a precedent for what true leadership must stand for: justice, fairness, and the courage to transform society, one company at a time.